Hi, this is Carlton Cullins, and welcome to the Blue Sky Strong Box. Hey, this is Carlton Cullins here with the Blue Sky Strong Box here in Austin, Texas, and this week I want to get back to a little series that I started last year called Things You Should Know. From time to time I write things down on a little list, and these are things I just think that you'd be better off knowing. So, first things on the list today is if you are a person who likes to do weight training first thing in the morning, right when you get out of bed, whether you're a male or female, Canadian back expert Stuart McGill says that you should probably wait 30 minutes before you do your workout. You need to get out of bed, stand up for about 30 minutes, and then do your workout. The reason being, you can severely hurt your spine over time. He's a smart man, so I'd listen to him. Number two, in case you did not know, the supplement industry, the same industry that supplies fat burners, protein powders, multivitamins, and all this, is not regulated by the FDA. The FDA is the Food and Drug Administration. They regulate a lot of things, but they do not regulate the supplement industry. So it's like the Wild West out there. Just assume there's a lot of money to be made in the supplement industry. So just assume that there's a lot of bad stuff out there and do your research before you buy anything. Number three, everybody, regardless of who you are, everybody needs protein, needs fat in their diet, and needs carbohydrates in their diet. So each meal you should have some portion of protein, fat, and carbohydrate. Some people might need less of some of these things, but these are the three main macronutrients that should make up every one of your meals all day long. And every human being needs all three of these in some shape or form or fashion. Do your research. I encourage you to do research on all these things I'm talking about today, by the way. Next one, corn is not a vegetable. Corn is a grain. A lot of people don't know that. The term muscle confusion, which I think P90X has probably made popular, and there's nothing wrong with it in and of itself, but just know that muscle confusion is nothing new. It's just basically periodization of the body, and in the training world that just means that you're not doing the same thing all the time. If you've been doing the same thing for more than a month or more than 6 weeks, it's probably time to change. So the safest bet, you don't have to change your workout every time you work out, even though it's not always a bad idea to do that either. But if you just changed your workout every month and didn't do the same thing every month and just kind of went back and forth on something, you'd probably be fine. Next thing is all diets work. I have this conversation a lot with people, but there's always going to be new diets. A lot of times there are new diets that are actually just rehashes of old diets, but all diets work because they ask you to do something that you're not already doing. And typically, by changing something you're already doing, you're going to be cutting calories in some way. So most people just lose body fat and lose weight because because they're eating something they didn't normally eat. Typically, it's less breads and more vegetables and things like that. So no brainer. Those are the things you're supposed to be probably doing anyway. So just let you know on that one. Squatting, even though a lot of people associate it with knee pain, squatting is not bad for your knees. One of my favorite coaches, Dan John, always says eloquently, squatting isn't bad for your knees. The way you do squats is bad for your knees. So you may actually have an issue with your knee, and that's something you probably need to get looked into. And squatting might bother that, but more than likely it's the way that you squat that is bothering that. It's not the squat itself that is hurting that. So get it checked out. Squatting done properly, and when your injuries have been all cleared up and you've been cleared to exercise, squatting can actually help your knees, and especially if you learn to use your hip when you squat, it helps your whole body. So anyway, moving right on. Everybody who's doing cardio always wants to increase the time. If you've been doing 20 minutes, you want to do 30 minutes. If you've been doing 30 minutes, you try to do 45 minutes, and people get up to over an hour, which I think is ridiculous. I always tell people, keep your cardio workouts under 45 minutes. I typically tell most people to keep their cardio workouts under 20 minutes, but that's just me. But what my point with this is increase the intensity of the workout before increasing the time. So if you've been going 20 minutes and you want to increase it to 30 minutes because you think that's the next best thing to do so you can get that six-pack, don't do that. Keep the same 20 minutes, but make that 20 minutes harder. That's the easiest thing to do, and that's a professional's opinion. It's a pretty standard process. I've seen a lot of people since the beginning of the new year this year, and it seems like the fad now, and this is crazy to me, is that people want to exercise too much. People that have not been exercising very much are just jumping into things. They're not changing their diet very much, and most people are trying to lose body fat, so if you don't change your diet, you won't lose any body fat really. So they're trying to exercise all the time thinking that that's the way they're going to burn off that body fat. And what's happening is your body's going to become completely inflamed. It's going to cause a lot of problems. You're probably going to gain extra weight. most people can't keep up a lot of exercise for more than 6 months. So I would suggest 3 to 4, maybe 5 days a week if you're hardcore. Rest as much as possible, eat well, and yeah, pace yourself. The journey is long, life is long. You want to last for a long time. So another tip that's really good is in smoothies, a lot of people use ice to make it colder and to make it the consistency a little bit better. I buy bananas and I peel them and I break them in half and I put them in freezer bags, and so each time I make a smoothie I put maybe a half a frozen banana in there, and it works really great. It's a good little trick somebody told me, and it works really well. Last but not least is a lot of people have pain. They have muscle pains or some kind of pain. First and foremost, you should always get that checked out if it hasn't gone away in a couple weeks. But if you have pain, you need to know right off the bat that most of the time that pain is not actually coming from the place where it hurts. A lot of time pain comes from another area. It's referred to as what's actually called referred pain. So always know, just because your shoulder hurts, more than likely it's not coming from that area on your shoulder. It's actually coming from another muscle that's sending pain to that site. So I always tell people, if it's not too serious, but it's something that's lasted a couple weeks, go get it checked out. I usually recommend most of them go see a really good, qualified, certified massage therapist first, because a lot of times they can cure up problems that doctors have no idea what they are. Now, if it's something else, medical, by all means, go to the doctor. But if it's something muscular, give it a couple weeks. If it hasn't gotten better, find a good, qualified massage therapist and go get it checked out first. Those are my tips for this week. Sorry I've been gone. I've been really busy, but I am hopefully going to be back and be steady. If you have any questions, write me as always, and I'll see you next week. Bye.